Parkinson.
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Getting on baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
For a few years, been wanting to do something sort of Fenway focused, but the hardest thing for us was really getting the color right, because Fenway green is not readily available color. It looks like, when you put it on different materials, it looks different. We're really focused on, if we can't get that right, we just weren't going to do something like this. So it took us a while, but we ended on something we're really proud of, and we have loved it, and we're super, super pumped about it. So we'll sort of show you where we ended up. We actually got it on our players last week, and they were thrilled, which was really cool because, and some guys, they'll tell you, and they'll be really vocal, and who knows what they'll do when they see stuff. And they loved him. I think not only is the subject matter something that people really love, because, I feel like it's pretty unique that we're a team where you can, we're the Red Sox, yet many people, not just the folks on the Zoom, will look at that color and they know that screams Fenway green. They know that links to Fenway Park. So we're really pumped. So you've got, the Fenway green jersey. Obviously, you've got the hat as well, which is super simple, but in a good way. I think we did a lot of self-editing here, which was nice. We didn't go, as far as we probably could have, because we really wanted to be super authentic and very much something that we can wear a lot. I mean, this can be a uniform. This isn't just to do something new and get it out there. This is something that we feel really strongly about and wanted to make sure it could stand the test of time. So a couple of the elements that are kind of obvious that you've probably already picked out, right? You've got the font on the chest, which is very much Green Monster scoreboard centric. You've got the yellow color on the front, which is actually, I will say, from a marketing and brand side, so our folks that worked on this, they love the front, the left chest numbers. They love them. And they've wanted to try to incorporate this into something over the years, and we haven't found the right piece. It's amazing how much these add to it, because even the leak, which is fine, right? It happens, who cares? But it's a totally different thing when you see without the numbers. I mean, it's like shockingly different. So you've got the yellow, which, as much as I love the colors, because I love a ton of colors anyway, running line score, you've got the foul poles, you've got the line in left center. So that matches up very well, we think. It's pretty cool detail in the pants. I think they look classic. We did, double stripes down the side, which I just think looks better. And we thought it matched up with the sleeves and neck. And we also did some detail around the belt loops, which again, it's just sort of cool. And it comes off to us anyway as really classic and very much something that lines up with Fenway Park. Some other little details that you'll see. You obviously have the B on the one sleeve, the circle B, which is a nod to the hits and errors on the Green Monster scoreboard. There's also balls, strikes, and outs. And you can flip Kate to the other slide that kind of looks at a few of these balls, strikes, and outs on the jock tag. They call it, the sort of size tag in the bottom left of the jersey. Another cool feature that even the designers at Nike who are not from here look at those dots and they know it means the Green Monster. To me, that's so crazy that we are in this place where we have things like that. The numbers on the back have the notches, which match up, to the Green Monster plates. So just little cool details that we didn't think were too much. And then inside the neck, this one was kind of hard to do perfectly, but we've got a concrete color, which is supposed to sort of line up with the inside of the Green Monster scoreboard. And obviously 1912, a nod to when the park opened. So that's kind of what we put together. Like I said, we love them, and every time I look at them, I like them more. And I think what's, again, so unique, and maybe it's for me because I've been here 1,000 years and I'm sort of biased and a homer. I now, when I see them, I think of the Green Monster scoreboard, the Green Monster. It's totally, for me, the colors pop in the right way. And like I said, our players being super pumped about them was awesome, because they knew exactly what it signified. They were excited to put it on. They liked how they felt with them. And they also felt like they weren't too much, Crochet was like, these are exactly right, and they kind of get worried. You hear City Connect, you see a lot of other teams, which is great. Mm-hmm. They're departures from the norm. And while this is a departure from the norm, it doesn't feel like so much of a departure for us anyway. So that's what we got. We're going to kick them off Friday night with hopefully the weather holds, but obviously a great pitching matchup, which is pretty cool, with Salem Crochet. And you're going to see them on field Friday night. We won't do anything pregame with them. It'll just be our normal Reds, and then we'll kick them out when the game starts. So pretty excited about it. And then we got some other giveaways. Sorry. Let me add one more thing, Rob, so you have it.
Sure.
We're only going to wear them this Friday, and then we're going to wear them again next Friday when the Orioles come to town. We've got a giveaway tied to it next week. And then we'll see what AC and the team wants to do from a scheduling perspective after that.
Listen, Troup, the first thing is that I really like them because I feel like you hit on something that a lot of these City Connects have been missing, which is let's lean into what the team, what the organization, what the city is about, and this not try to get too cute with it. It's not try to go overboard with it. Yeah. And I'm not crapping on other City Connects because everybody is trying, but I felt like a lot of them are like, okay, we got to add something, and we got to add something, we got to add something. I'm not just saying this because you're sitting here. This is, you are able to subtly add unique things, but I just love the simplicity of it. I think it's so unique in the City Connect world. And you mentioned, I like the White Sox one, because it was simplistic in the sense that it was an homage to the city and the Bulls. But this one, just, you look at it and it's just, okay, I'm not getting a headache looking at it. And then as you go through it, you're like, oh, that detail, that detail, that detail. And it's not smacking you in the face.
Yeah.
So, I just want to say that, out of the gate, and I don't know and I'm always fascinated by the process of this, right? Yep. How this happens. You say, okay, we got to do 2.0. What are your thoughts? So take me through that if you can.
Yeah. No, I totally, and I appreciate you saying all that because I totally agree. And I think it's hard when you're as close to it as we are. You included. It's it's easy to like it because if you are here enough, you're so used to the look. But the design process is fascinating, I think, because I guess you have to decide what your goals are in doing it, right? We were the first City Connect years ago, and we were excited to be that, if you will. But it was also the thing where we never wanted to do anything. It was just to do another jersey, right? We never came at it from a do another jersey or sell more. That was never part of it. It was if the story isn't real, if the story isn't authentic and it's not something we can get behind, then we shouldn't do it at all. I think we felt when we sat in this room in 19 talking about the 21 launch, that's what we talked about. And, in that case, the marathon matters to everyone here. You have to be a runner. It matters to New England, right? That's a real thing. And so the idea drove the design. It wasn't the other way around. This case is the same. Fenway Park matters it certainly matters to us. We think it matters to our players. We think it matters to this community. And the Red Sox brand is really important. Fenway Park is its own brand. It's its own living, breathing thing. And not many sports franchises have that, if any, quite honestly, right? There's only a few. So we felt if we were going to really, you say homage, but if we were going to do that sort of to the ballpark, what does that look like? Because you've seen it. Is it brick? Is it the facade? And it can kind of get a little kooky and is that what you know what I mean? So we settled on the color because it's absolutely an imperfect color, right? Highlighting an imperfect thing. We think it's great and it's ridiculous, right? We think it's great that there's a 37-foot tall wall in left field that, people, you touch it and it's dangerous and guys are running into it. It's the norm for us and it's not the norm for anyone else, right? And so that's cool. So I think to highlight the ballpark in this fashion with the color that is not just about the Green Monster, it's in the entire ballpark, right? And it just feels like this was the right thing to do. So we settled on that, but we're very specific. If we want to highlight the ballpark and pieces of the monster in the ballpark, and it's going to be green, we have to get the green right. Because this is not Kelly green from spring training years ago, which those were cool. St. Patrick's Day, that is not this. So if that was even close to this, it's a problem. And even when we talked to designers and they were like, okay, we get it, Green Monster, they started coming up with colors off of Wally the Green Monster, which, as you know, is not Fenway green. It's neon green. It's great, but it would not work for this. So the color was really important. And we were the most concerned about that. So in seeing the samples, and color's hard, I'm not a designer, but you get the right color, but you put it on different material, it all looks different. It's really hard to play with. So we felt like this was shockingly close. And that's what we then built the whole thing off of. So for us, I don't know if the White Sox are like this or the Marlins or, the Astros, who knows, but the theme and the idea drove the design. And if we didn't like that collectively, we weren't going to do it at all.
Do you remember your aha moment? Do you remember where you were like sitting in a room like, oh, there it is. There it is.
I will tell you the aha moment was when they arrived here because I was really convinced the color wouldn't look correct.
Yeah. Well, that's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you don't know until you pull them out of the box.
No.
Right.
And you go through a lot of samples and stuff. And again, like, I mean, I'm not the smartest guy. So like you see the computer, like perfect. Then it's like, what happened? And like, so the first, I mean, literally it didn't change. We got it and we're expecting it to be, in fact, I will tell you, we were sort of like, if it doesn't look right, we're not doing it. I mean, it was like, until it comes in the box, we're not committed to this.
One of the things you talk about the players buying in,
yeah.
and I've seen leading up to this, players have different elements of their uniform that they're waiting to break out. Liam Hendricks walks out to take throw around with a green glove. Trevor Story has his belt to that green already, and I think that's another element. That's another example of what you really, really hope is that these players aren't running away from this, right?
100%.
They're running toward it.
Right. And you don't know, by the way, your point's right. Like you love them to want to go the step further, right? We're not telling Duran to go work with Nike on cool cleats or, any, other guys to like run to the sort of New Balances or the G forms or any of those to make product, and in this case, they embraced it. But I think that's really cool too, because the way the players embraced it like 2 weeks ago when they were all going through it and putting stuff on, it was kind of neat for me because it was like they understood why. You know what I mean? It's not about, again, I'm not trying to kill the concept of City Connect, but like, this isn't about City Connect because it's not a gimmick for us. The first one wasn't, and this isn't. Like, this is like, this matters. You know what I mean? So like the players knew what this represented, and it doesn't represent a City Connect moment. It represents what they're sort of playing for. I don't know. It feels more powerful and it's clean and it's simple. And I guess you could maybe say it's too simple for some, and that's totally cool. I just think it represents exactly what we wanted to, and it holds the ballpark where it should be held.
Troup, the last thing is that it's a bigger picture, broader question. I always cite this. I remember, I don't know what it was, 7 or 8 years ago, talking to David Price. I said, what would you change in baseball? I said, well, I would make it so baseball allows us to wear cleats with more than 2 colors on it. And I'm like, what? They don't let you do that? It was insane. Then I talked to Tony Clark and said, yeah, like we've been trying to get him. And then all of a sudden, flash forward a few years, we obviously have the embracing of this. And the City Connects are an example of this, of how baseball is understanding the power of attire, of uniforms, of equipment, of uniqueness, of personality. From your perspective, because this is in your wheelhouse, how impactful has that been for MLB and MLB players embracing that element?
I think it's been really impactful, but I would say it's not just impactful for the players to truly be recognized as individuals, which is really cool. I mean, just the belts alone. By the way, you mentioned the belts, which is funny. The amount of belts our players have different versions for this alone is shocking. And by the way, you've been in this business a long time. When has a belt ever been a subject?
The belt thing this year is, but I actually was just talking with guys about this. Everybody has these belts.
Right, with logos and numbers and like, before it was like, Tommy in the clubhouse would have a ton of like black belts. Like that was it. And that wasn't that long ago. So I think it's been great for the players, but I actually would say it's really been better for the fans because it's important that fans look at baseball in a way they truly sort of look at other sports. You need the players to be individuals. We need personalities. These guys have personalities. But if the sport holds them to not being able to show them, their athletic talents are unbelievable. And that if you're a baseball fan or you're drawn to that, you see it. But people are also drawn to personalities and like, what do folks bring to the game? And like, how do they play the game, right? How do they view their style? Like, so I think it's been great for players, but ultimately they're there to be players too. Like, I think it's been great for fans because I think it shows baseball's not in it's 100 years ago, so I think it's loosened up the fan base. And like, I have little kids, they love the differences here, right? They love how fun it's been to look at how we're going to like market these. Like we're not going to be pushing just the players and the product. You'll see it Thursday and Friday. What we've created is really cool. It's all about the ballpark. It's like really cool. And it's not about a person, you know, it's again, I just love for this because it's like, I believe it. And I think you believe it. You don't have to love the Red Sox. You don't have to love baseball. You don't have to like sports, but you probably want to go to Fenway Park. And that is so cool. And we're so lucky to have that. We should celebrate it. You know what I mean? And so that's to me what this does without saying it's Fenway Park. You know, it's like, it's subtle. And subtle is what I think moves it.
And I think seeing them actually on human beings,
Yeah.
like, I mean, that hits a little bit different and will hit as well. So,
I agree.
True, man. I really appreciate your time and expertise and sincerely, and congratulations. I know that a lot goes into this. This isn't just here, let's have an idea and run with it. Like, a lot goes into this. So, congratulations on this. You guys nailed it.
Well, I totally appreciate that. And also saying that I have expertise is really helpful. I'm going to use that also.
All right.
For a while.
All right.